It was a real problem for me. It made even simple everyday tasks seem impossible. Simply put, I had a social anxiety issue, a bad one. It was more than just being young and awkward. I would have serious meltdowns almost daily. It's always been my problem, even when I was young. I remember standing outside the door of my kindergarten room on the first day of school crying uncontrollably because I was so scared of going into class. Vinny Lopez and I had been best friends since we were in diapers, and they were like brothers to me. Everyone else was really intimidating, and girls were out of the question. Man, it was bad. A girl would just come up to me and ask for the time, and I would stand there like I had to give a speech in front of 10,000 people. I got older and my anxiety got worse. In the 8th grade, I had to give an oral presentation. So I've got this whole poster board made, I've got my detailed cue cards in hand, and I finally get myself up in front of the class. It wasn't long before my voice was quivering, my hands were shaking, and the sweat was running down my face. And the butterflies were getting bad, until suddenly it was too much for me to handle, and I managed to throw up all over my poster board, on half of my teacher's desk, and on the shoes of the cute girl in the front row. It was clear my anxiety was going to hold me back in everything I do, and things weren't getting any better. High school rolled around, and nothing had changed. So one day after school, I was sitting out back smoking cigarettes by the dumpster with my friend Vinny, and out of the blue he asked me if I wanted to join the wrestling team with him. Not knowing a lot about it, I agreed. I was banking on being a freshman and not actually getting a lot of mat time, but apparently scrapping around with my older brothers made me take to the sport very well. I was a freshman beating out upperclassmen that weighed the same as me, and I didn't even know what I was doing. 2 days before the match, my coach told me I would be the team's starting 125-pounder. On top of that, it was a home match, which always drew a large crowd. I spent the whole day raking my brain for possible ways to get out of having to wrestle. I remember everything leading up to the match vividly. The announcer calling out my name and weight, feeling off balance as I walked to the center of the ring because my knees were shaking so bad. My mind was racing thinking about all of those people watching me and judging me. Catching me off guard, the whistle blew. Immediately, my opponent began coming at me relentlessly. In an instant, my head cleared, my knees stopped shaking, and for 6 minutes, it was only me and my opponent in that gym. Before I knew it, the match was over and the ref was raising my hand above my head. I remember standing there with my hand raised in disbelief as I looked out into the crowd of my schoolmates all cheering for me. Even after this first match, I was completely addicted. I couldn't wait until my next match, my next adrenaline rush. The crowds got bigger and the pressure got increasingly intense, but I just kept on winning. For the first time, I felt really confident about something. I made captain my junior and senior year, and after 4 years of training, I earned my chance to compete in the New York State Wrestling Championships. After wrestling in front of a crowd of 10,000 people, things that once intimidated me no longer seem like such a big deal. Wrestling changed the way I live my life, and through it, I found the confidence to be whoever I want to be and do whatever I want to do without holding back.